On everything I love, I was on the verge of crashing out over this dumb system. I don't know how many times I've got to complain about this. I'm not going to do it again, but I finally got a full set on a Fungal. I used easily over 1,000 energy to pull this off. So hit the like button. We got to get this video to a like goal of 400 likes. I was so close to crashing out. Like, I was at my wit's end. I was like, dude, I'm going to just record this stupid video with her having defense parts because I kept getting defense and HP gloves, gauntlets, whatever the hell it's called. It was all defense, HP, flat percentage, flat percentage, flat percentage. I was just like, are you freaking kidding me? And the nasty thing is that player rank 70 where I'm at, it doesn't, as far as I know, maybe it will, but it doesn't give you overflow. It just converts it into credits. They're going to raise the level cap here in a couple of days. Hopefully there's overflow and I shoot up, but I doubt it. It gives me, and it's not even a good amount of credits either. Is this like a 1-to-1? That's terrible. That's terrible. What even is the point? Oh my God. So anyway, somebody tell me what 7,000 energy, 7,000, that's not 7,000 energy, but 7,000 rank experience is worth in energy. Because that's what I used. All of that is all used on freaking Ashiro between yesterday and today. Getting the uniparts set. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. All right. So long story short, if you haven't seen the videos, check them out. I'm not going to really explain anymore because we already spent a couple minutes. But I explained how I thought that maybe because your crit rate is so high, as you see, it's still at 60-something. 31, my bad. It's plus 20 here. And then Bakko will give the other one too. So she's going to be damn near at 100%. And then if you use Chester or 4-star Hoshina, she's exceeding 100% technically. So anyway, I basically said, I don't know if it's worth it just to get the extra damage on the Kaduda follow-up. So the Kaduda set Kaudada, however the hell you pronounce it, it gives an increase in damage dealt when she does those extra attacks, which is basically when the tiger takes a turn. I said, you know, crit damage is just so impactful as a damage metric. I just don't know if it's worth it. And so that's what we're going to be going through today. I'm going to use my normal testing ground for this. And we'll see what she looks like. That is not my normal testing ground. This is not the team that I would like to use. It's close. I don't necessarily mind it. It's close. There we go. That's fine. Anyway, let me know in the comments down below which set you are using. I like I said in that video, like Kaduda. Somebody let me know, man. I can't. Maybe I'll ask Google how to pronounce it. That's a really safe set. It's very safe. Like this is more of like, can we squeeze more out of Ashiro? Right? That's what this is attempting to do. Frame drops. Hello. Can I turn this auto off, please? And can we get my frames back? What the hell? Why are we operating on like 15 frames? All right, so I got it fixed. All right, let's get going. Since this is the, I still think it's so funny, the freaking Bakko glitches. And so this is one thing that kind of is the trade-off for putting speed parts on her foot, is now she does exceed Bakko in turn order. Now, the counter argument to this is that she is able to, basically she would have been back here after Bakko, but before the Kaiju 10. So the counter argument is that she gets to move up in meter a little bit in terms of getting more actual opportunities to attack, which could help her get her ultimate off. It's more or less a matter of preference. Somebody was talking to me about that in the comments. I think it's a matter of preference because I prefer for her to operate after Bakko because of the fact Bakko does extend her damage output and stuff like that. So like for this initial attack, she doesn't really have anything going. But maybe that matters more also if you're using Kaudada. It probably matters more if you're using Kaudada. Maybe not as much with this set. We're mostly going to avoid Kaiju 10. Bakko, yeah, I'm not used to seeing him go here. And also, like, you don't get that initial crit rate on that first hit either. I mean, she may still crit, but, you know, it's not a guarantee anyway. We can get a break here. Chester! Chester! All right, so Chester's turn is up finally. Frankly, my Chester needs to be faster. I need Chester to go faster. That was his first turn, right? Like, I'm pretty sure that was his first turn, right? Like, his speed's at 105. Yeah, he needs to get faster, frankly. What foot part does he have on? I don't know if I ever went back and refixed up his unipart set because he doesn't. No, for the most part, I did. I'll change out the foot part. I mean, I could change the body part too. Chester's unipart set just kind of doesn't really matter all that much. Like, you could put a support unipart set on him or the ult charge rate one up on him. Like, it doesn't really matter a ton. But anyway. Yeah, he needs to be faster though. It's never really mattered though, so I never really cared. We'll go for the single target attack here. She's already critting for 14k, huh? So with the other setup, with her optimal setup, her big move in the video, I was pretty underwhelmed by it because I was like, oh, that's garbage. But then I was like, but context, right? Her big attack did 70 or 90k, one of the two. I can confirm it on her initial showcase video on this exact stage. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Sagan. So everyone's approaching their ultimates. I need to let Sagan get an attack on Kaiju 10. We need to actually start trying to go plate break. The out of turn damage from her is still extremely strong, like I've always said. I really like that. Sagan here. That'll trigger her ult, which would then trigger the last plate break when I'm ready for it. We can go here. All right, so Chester is ready too. Everyone's ready. Yeah. Hoshina will get a plate break. Everything is in order. We've got 2 turns left here. Yeah, everything's in order. Perfect. Oh, Hoshina won't get a plate break, but that's fine. Sagan is going to be the one that gets it, like I was pointing out a second ago. Not sure why I confused those two things. So we're going to get the residual crit rate here. We're going to get the damage up. Field Ops is obviously applied, so that's where that stuff comes from. We're going to get crit rate and attack here, or crit damage and attack here, excuse me. 30% crit damage. Not sure why the audio cut out. Hello? Just randomly? You just decided you wanted to cut out? Oh, there it goes. Okay, that was certainly something. We got a break, so follow up. That's whatever. We're going to get a little bit more here from Hoshina. Wait. Hopefully Bakko's gone. And see, again, hopefully Bakko's gone and he's done everything I need. We're fully stacked up. I can't do anything about that this time, though, because Ashiro's going to take this turn no matter what. I guess I can maybe, if I need to, use her special or something and then come back with the ult right after Bakko goes. Assuming they don't win. Like, they're close to winning. All right. So let's check Ashiro. How is she looking? Roughly 4,200 attacks. See, this is where, like, when I do this setup, this is right around where most characters that are DPS characters wind up getting. Couple things here. Her crit rate, nearly 100%. It is like 98, right? It's like 97.9, whatever that is. But her crit damage is exceeding 200%. That's what we're trying to look for. That's what we wanted to accomplish here. Because between Sagan, between her weapon, between her unipart set, there is a lot of crit damage. Crit rate, it doesn't matter if you go beyond 100. Crit damage, the higher the number, the better. Like, if I could push it to 500, that would be even better, right? So field ops, we've got the Wyvern unipart set from Hoshina, the attack increase from Sagan, attack increase from Hoshina. I believe that's his weapon, SW Fox. Speed, crit rate, crit damage here. So see, we are missing 1 crit damage stack on the Dionysus. We're missing 1 crit damage stack on the Dionysus. So that's kind of... See, this is because she's going before Bakko. So yeah, I don't want speed there. We're missing a 13% crit damage stack. because she's going before Bakko. Bakko's turn is going to pop there. Now, hold on. If I were more thoughtful about this, I could have activated this stuff later. You could argue I activated this stuff prematurely, and that would change that. But because she went before Bakko, we are missing out on 13%. Now, can I maybe still extend this? Some of these debuffs, or these buffs have like 2 turns on them. I could maybe extend this. Because she would just, well, no. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm not going to bother with it. Crit damage dealt from Chester's weapon. 2 damage stacks from Dionysus. Dionysus, whatever the hell. So that is the max. So the damage dealt bonuses is the maximum of what you can get from that. A damage dealt bonus there, the buff from Hoshina, and then another damage dealt. So, like, she's mostly only missing. I think she's got everything accounted for here, except for 13% crit damage. Could I, one more time really quick, before the equipped unit activate? Okay, I was going to say, like, if I could use my combat, because I remember seeing combat a second ago. One of them is combat, the other one is extra. Okay. So she got the fungal damage up too, right? Okay. Yeah, so she does more damage with that. Like I said, somebody go back to the other video. Let me know in the comments. Was it 70 or 40 that she did? Now, context. That is not a big hit individually, right? That's not a big hit. But if you were to compare that, so like if you were to compare that with a hit from any other character that's like a pure single target DPS, Ashiro's damage is split because you're supposed to see her hitting adjacent targets, so her damage is split. That is the strongest blast attack in the game. I'm pretty positive that's the strongest blast attack in the game. Now, your results may vary depending on your dupes in your characters, how much setup you've got, what stage you're taking on, what level you're at, all that stuff. Results will vary. But I'm pretty positive that's roughly right around the biggest blast attack I've seen. The only other character in terms of blast attackers that comes even close to that is Reno. And specifically on his ultimate. There's not another, because let's just go through it. Like, there's not another. That Sagan, whatever. Chester, whatever. We're talking about you, so you don't count. Whatever with the support character. You're purely single target. So there's no blast attack in here at all. So you don't even count in this discussion. You're not a damage dealer. You're purely single target as well, so you don't count either. So there's not a lot of options, by the way. You have an AoE and a single target, so you don't count either, ironically. She's got a blast attack combat skill, which is just not going to compare to an ultimate. So really the only real competition here is the new Kikaru, Gen, and Reno. So that's it. That's literally all that there is. The rest of these guys do not do, maybe the 4 stars, but they're not going to compare in terms of damage. Hoshina's combat skill is blast attack, but again, doesn't really matter, right? Because it switches to single target when he's actually going. So yeah, she's got the strongest one because this Narumi's ultimate cannot peak at that same height. Reno's can get pretty close. That's mostly it. And then Reno has some other stuff in there that I like too. But maybe that's just modifier stuff. This one's not fully peaked, so I'd assume the modifiers are pretty close to where Reno's are as well. 207, 104. I'd bet that they probably get really close to Reno's. 230. That probably is right about the same number. I can see how much it grows by 1. Goes up another 7% there and another 4% there, roughly. So yeah, pretty close. It's gonna be in the high 220s, right? Roughly. And then with dupes, that skill level could go up even higher. So that's where like dupes actually do matter on characters a little bit. It's just win more though. But yeah, it's really only them, and Kikaru she's not going to compare to that either because she's just not designed for that. Look at the modifiers here. She's low modifier. They give her defense penetration to make up for it, but her attack stat's also low, so it just winds up not really working in terms of pure damage. So But Kikaru also spams her ultimate, so maybe you have a purely damage over time or total damage output argument there. So for Ashiro, where's her modifier? I don't think she's even at level 10. She's not even at level 10. Her modifiers are higher. Yeah, her modifiers are higher. They're at, what, 240? 240 and 220. So she has she's designed to be the hardest hitting one, actually. so there's that. So I said all that to say that, like, obviously, I know that's not a huge hit because I could bring Hoshina in that exact same situation and he's exceeding 300. His damage is not split, but he's exceeding 300. Now, when you factor in the actual damage, if there was 3 enemies there that could have taken that hit, she would have done roughly 200 damage. Now, that does still not compare to Hoshina, right? That's more in line with most of the other characters that are damage dealers in the game, though. Like, if you were to do that for Reno, he would be in that range when he's fully invested in, built up, blah, blah, blah. If you were to do that with the new Narumi and have him with a purely offensive build as opposed to my ult spam build, he's going to be in that range too, and he's fully built up, invested in, support, blah, blah, blah. All the stuff that I do for characters. So the real takeaway is, to the point of the video, yes, as you would imagine, Fungal hits harder. And it's because the crit damage. And if I were to even take it a step further, we could squeeze more out of this because I'm taking this off. I'm putting shot there. And if I put shot there, she gets the extra damage. Also, maybe again, like I said in the gameplay, if I was more patient with activations of my ultimates, because I wanted to sneak in before Kaiju 10 took his turn. Anyway, but that didn't really matter because we were going to win anyway. That's how I would normally play, but in that situation, I could have been more patient. But we also were missing another 13% crit damage. And that would matter, right? And then we also could get better versions of these. Crit damage isn't capped for the body part at 28. Like, that could be in the 30s. You know, the arm parts could be like close to 300, I think, is the normal attack, and then it goes up to like 40 or whatever on the percentage version. So like, there's a lot that you can squeeze out of here. So yeah, I do like this better. So that's more or less it. And it's just because it's an argument between crit damage versus damage dealt. That's all it is. It's all crit damage versus damage dealt. And if they gave her crit damage instead of crit rate on the Caudata set effect, it would be fine. But she basically gets 100% anyway. So she just doesn't need it. Now, like I said, I acknowledge that that's not a particularly hard stage. So we're going to go in and just do a really quick run here. Now, real quick, it will look worse because I'm taking Hoshina's butt off my team. He is coming off my team in favor of, do I want Kikaru? She's like my de facto character. And she's partly my de facto because she also helps a little bit with the defense downs. Each of those defense downs represents like 5% additional damage. And they stack, so she can put like 3 or 4 on there. And so it's like technically like another 20% damage dealt bonus. But that's like really late after she's taken a number of turns. So that's kind of why she's my default. And then also just she starts off with the ult, she spams, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, so it's not going to look as good. And then also it's not going to look as good because this is harder content. So there's a couple of qualifiers. Her damage will not look the same. But I was actually pretty impressed by that. Like I've said in my initial video, aside from Hoshina, I'm pretty positive she has the highest total damage output in the game. And the only reason Hoshina is higher, and he's higher on everything but this stage, I bet she outdamages him on this stage specifically, because Hoshina is just not good in this fight. Anyway, the only reason why is because Bakko. Crap, I forget Bakko's still slower. The only reason why is because Bakko. Because she basically takes 2 turns. She gets two actions every turn. And she advances Bakko, so she technically gets them faster as the battle goes on. And oh my god, she's getting aggroed. I'm going to have to put a freaking healer on this team. Or a sustain character. Wait, we do have a sustain. She just hasn't taken a goddamn turn yet. Yeah, I need to work on the speed of those characters. It hasn't mattered much until now, like I was saying, but it will matter. She's also got the hardest hitting follow-up move in the game, I believe, with the modifiers. So that's pretty cool, too. Oh my god, are you seriously aggroing her? Knock it off! Bro's gonna make me have to restart this stupid fight because they all want to target her. Are you kidding me? Look at Kikaru, man. So inspiring. So to be fair with Kikaru, to be 100% fair with Kikaru, I've got to give her the same argument, right? I give it to everyone else but her. Maybe it's because I'm so disappointed in defense penetration. But, like, she just did, like, 30-something, 33, 34,000 damage on that attack total across the board. That's not bad for a combat skill. It's just the initial is, like, 1,100. And it's also uninspiring when you see her first attack and there's, like, 900 damage hits in there. Like, what the hell does she think she's doing with a 900 damage hit in here? So, to be fair with Kikaru, I'm always very critical of her. But I still think she's an S-tier character, though. That's the thing. I've always rated her highly. I just don't like that. You know, I feel like she's kind of got screwed. And see, look, she just takes those extra turns, and that's why, like I said, I'm pretty sure she got, like, the highest total damage, just period. Aside from Hoshina, and that's just because Hoshina has the ability to hit so freaking hard. Can you not bypass Sagan's taunt? Thank you. I would love to have had another elemental character on this team. I should have done that. I knew I should have done it too. But it is what it is. Look at she pushes Bakko ahead of this wyvern because the action order increased. That's great. That is great. Oh, Sagan is so late in the game. But if they hit Sagan a few times, she should be fine. Hit Sagan, please. Thank you. I hate how stupid Kaiju 10 ignored Sagan's taunt last time. Oh, he's not even taunted, is he? Low-key Sagan 10, or Sagan 10. Hello, Sagan Kaiju number 10 variant confirmed. Low-key Kaiju 10 is not taunted. Thankfully, the other guys are. Like, I'm positive bro's not taunted. Taunt? That's why he ignored her. Yeah, he's not taunted. Okay. That's annoying. That's annoying. Something I don't ever think much about. Like, I just assume she's going to land it, to be honest. Yeesh. She's just shy, too. So, we are completely at dude's mercy, man. We are completely at this dude's mercy. That little puny shield isn't doing anything, either. Of course he did. Of course he did, bro. Of course he did, bro. Of course he did. Of course. I knew he was doing it too. I knew he was doing it. Most AIs are programmed like that, where they're just going to delete the character if they get the opportunity. Oh my god. It's all because he ignored her Sagan earlier. That's probably why he got that hit initially, because I was like, why the hell did he hit her? I didn't realize she must have not landed that taunt. That almost makes me want to put a stupid effect hit rate piece on her. Low-key, she doesn't need it. Or she doesn't need anything else. It actually should be her primary. Ult charge is good. Yeah, ult charge is good, actually. Oh, I need to change these arm pieces back. Uniparts suck, bro. I need to change that because I never finished it because they didn't matter at the time. It still hasn't mattered for the record. But min-maxing, I should go back and do it. I like ult charge. Look how much she got just from that. I love ult charge, especially because her ult is so strong. So maybe I wouldn't change it. But I would strongly consider it. Is bro not taunted again? Can he not be taunt? There's no way she missed it twice on him. Unless he's got some sort of super high resistance stat. There's just no way she missed again. What the f? She keeps missing him. Yeah, all Kaiju. There's no stipulation in here. She's just missing him. Or he's resisting it, but you can't see the enemy's resistance. Interesting. Okay. That's never really been something I paid much attention to. I just have always assumed that she's landing them because she doesn't miss it. And that's where like 100% isn't 100% because the enemies have the ability to resist. And so you can miss. Even though it says 100% chance, it's not a true 100% because you factor in everything else. And that's why effect hit rate exists. That's exactly why. Can you stop hitting her? Thankfully, she's fine right now. All right, where are we at with Chester? 2 turns left. Okay. Well, I'm not worried about him doing much of anything here. I should use his combat, though, but I sat on it. Let's go one more time here. I never use Kikuru's basic attack. Her basic has her normal attack, whatever, just the skill 1. It's got the strongest defense down. I typically just like to use the blast version, though, so I very rarely use that version. We'll reapply this, but also get a better charge. I should have actually used the normal attack. That was not great, because I need those plate breaks. Well, this is fine. This is perfect. This actually is perfect. Okay, so since he's not targeting Ashiro, then I'm fine. Nothing else matters if he doesn't target Ashiro. I can just stall and take as long as I want if he doesn't target Ashiro. That's great. And Chester's ready. Everyone's ready, so I just need a plate break and I'm good. Literally everything is ready. Okay, that's fine. Hey, how come she gets hit twice, but she can't counter twice? Lame. I'm ready for Sagan 2 now. Get this weak Sagan out of here. Not countering twice could never be me. Could never be me. Oh, we're gonna have some fun here. Mini Barrio! Mini Barrio! 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 Oh, we're gonna get breaks too. We're gonna get double breaks because the blunt hits. We're gonna get 2 blunt hits out there on the side pieces. Haha, let's go! Core expose. Follow up for your boy Chester. And Kikuru's gonna get breaks here. And we are kicking butt. Butt-toga kick. Oh yeah, this is great. I love the little interactions. Ashiro Taicho. 32K on the follow-up is not bad. That's cooking. All right, so where's she at now? Ooh, these numbers look very much like the old numbers. This is where Hoshina's not here, so we're losing that 20% crit rate. But these numbers look very much like the other numbers. Okay. So we got field ops. We've got the attack from Sagan. Crit rate. 2 out of 3 Dionysuses again, because the same thing is freaking happening here again. Let me see if I can just go. Maybe we'll just go. Damage dealt, damage dealt, damage dealt, damage dealt, damage dealt. We're cooking. Where's my Taiga? Okay, fine. This time I will just go. How about that? This time I will just go. And I'll use Chester's thing again, too. Well, there's not a huge rush. I can apply that again and then go here. Okay, let's see how things look. Attack, crit rate, crit damage. Dionysus did not get the 3rd stack. What? Crit damage, damage dealt. What? What the flying flippergast? Why did that not? Before the equipped unit activates an extra attack. Oh, did she didn't do the attack? I was too busy like just looking at my text message, if I'm being honest with you. Did she not do the attack? Somebody let me know what happened there. If she didn't do the attack, then that's what happened. Because the attacks can fall off if you take too long to use your ultimate to reapply the effect that gives you the attacks. So we are right back where we started. 57 and what, 32? So that was actually admittedly not all that bad. That was a good hit. Because she did over 100,000 with that. That was a good hit. Yeah, that was a good hit. And that was with me stalling. Like, that was not a bad hit at all. And she crit, thankfully, because even with that, her crit rate is still so high, the odds are she's going to crit. That's crazy. So she had fungal part damage dealt. Was that active or is that after the ult? That's after the ult. No, it's before activating the ult. That's right. Nice. Damage, crit damage, crit rate, attack. I was like, I feel like she's missing some attack increases, but that's because she doesn't have Hoshina giving her. So Hoshina not being here is actually impacting this a lot. So that's another thing too. So considering the level gap difference, now we're at both level 100. Considering Hoshina not being here, that's a lot to kind of take from her and then replace with Kikuru giving these defense downs, which is like literally when you consider the math in this game, this is not as valuable as you would think it is. It's not as valuable even remotely as it is in other games. This is literally the weakest damage enhancing buff you can get is a defense down on the opponent. So he's got one defense down, actually. He doesn't even have very many. He's got one. So that's not really doing anything. But when you consider all that stuff, like Hoshina gives 2 attack increases, like roughly like 50% between the Wyvern parts and his weapon. And then also he gives the 60-something% blast attack damage on his combat skill. The crit rate, yeah, that's fine. Speed, yeah, that's fine. But we don't really care about those 2 things. I actually thought she performed pretty well. Like, I'm pretty positive because the number was higher just naturally than what we had in that exact same setting in the previous video, that Fungal is the better offensive set for her, which is interesting. But the thing is that Caudata is not far behind. It's not like Fungal is exceptionally better. It's just better, but it's not exceptionally better. If you got a good Caudata set on, I would actually not bother, if I'm being honest with you, just because the hassle of uniparts. I'm dead serious. If you didn't wait, like I said in my other video, if you actually put on Caudata, I would not bother, just because I don't think it's worth it, because she's fine. She's fine. I just not am going to bother. I would not bother. Speaking of sets, I forget also, I switched my Kikuru, so that's another reason why her damage is just not great. Because I took Armored off her, because I don't really care for it. Because she was missing her defense downs, and it was annoying the shit out of me. But to be fair, I just said it's not a great debuff, but if that's the case, I could just put the other set back on. But again, I circle back to uniparts being a major problem. I spent however much energy just putting this set on Ashiro, and I still am not even done. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.